it's Jess, and welcome back to my channel, Nose in a Book. So today I'm going to be filming my September TBR for you. So September, I have a lot of books that I want to get to, but I may not get to all of them. I have my theme for the year-a-thon this month is short books. Yeah, but they're books under 200 pages, and so I have like a stack of those because I just kind of pulled all the books off my shelf, my TBR shelf, that were under 200 pages or 200 pages or under. So I'm super excited to try to get to as many of these as I possibly can. I'm currently reading one and I haven't gotten very far in it, so I will go ahead and show you those as well as the pick from my TBR jar that I have, and then a couple others. So let's get right into it. We have The Book of Three. This is the Chronicles of Prudian Book 1 by Lloyd Alexander, and this is the series that the Disney movie The Black Cauldron was based off of. It's based off of the second book, so I picked this one up recently, and I would like to get to it soon. So this is on my list. Next, we have A Glory of Unicorns by Bruce Coville. This one is kind of like a bunch of short stories about unicorns. He wrote the series of, I forget what it's called, but it's Into the Land of the Unicorns series. And I love his writing. I love his unicorn world. So I'm super excited to read this and get into those short stories. Next, I have The Wish by Gail Carson Levine. Gail Carson Levine usually writes a lot of fairy tale retellings. I believe she wrote Ella Enchanted, which is one of my favorites. So this is going to be a lot of fun, and it's short, under 200 pages, so super excited. A lot of these under 200 pages books are going to be middle grade, and I really, really love middle grade books. So I'm planning on reading like as many of these as possible and then just passing them on to my niece so that she can have some more to read. Next, I have a whole little series of books. Not all of them, but it's quite a few of them. I think it's 8 of them. And you can see them all right here. They're very colorful. And like I said, these are a lot of middle grade and young, like, chapter books. So this is the Star Darlings series. I'm currently just barely started, Sage and the Journey to Wish World. And these are by Shauna Muldoon Zappa and Ahmet Zappa. And they are actually Disney, I think it's actually a Disney television show. And these are like the little novels for it. And I think they're super cute. So I wanted to read them and then pass them on to my niece. Like I said, I usually do with these ones. So I'm super excited to get into these, and the artwork is super pretty. So basically there is an academy of girls who are all studying to be wish granters, and there's a whole bunch of them. They all have different personalities and all of that. So that was something I really loved when I was younger, and I still do, and I'm super excited to kind of read through these. They should be really fast reads because, like I said, they're short, they're chapter books, so they have pretty big writing and stuff like that. So they're just going to be super fun. So we have, like I said, Sage and the Journey to Wish World, Libby and the Class Election, Leona's Unlucky Mission, Vega and the Fashion Disaster, Scarlet Discovers True Strength, Cassie Comes Through, Piper's Perfect Dream, and Astra's Mixed Up Mission. So I'm super excited to try to get to all of those and read as many of them as possible before the book theme ends this month. Then the next couple here are actually books of poetry, and these are both by Victoria's Secret. Actually, they're scented and they're actually really fun. But we have Victoria's Secret Garden of Love and Victoria's Secret Images of Love, and they're all just excerpts from different books and poems and stuff like that. I read another one of these little anthologies and I adored it, and so I'm really excited to get into these, and these are all under 100 pages, so super excited about those. These next ones are going to be rereads if I get to them, and these are Westminster Abbey and Getting the Boot. These are all from the Students Across the Seven Seas series, and they are about foreign exchange students, and I was so intrigued by this as a kid. I always wanted to go far off and go to boarding school or wherever, and I was so excited to read about these. So Westminster Abbey obviously goes to London, and Getting the Boot, there we go, Getting the Boot goes to Italy. So I'm so excited about reading these again. I hope I get to them this week because yeah. So this one will also be reread for me if I get to it, and that is Austenland by Shannon Hale. I was inspired to reread this because last month I reread Pride and Prejudice on audiobook for the Ostentatious Book Club read by Zoe. I'll go ahead and link her video about that in the description as well as her channel. She's so awesome, and I love Jane Austen, and I loved this when I read it the first time. The movie's really cute too, but I really love the ending of the book, and they changed the ending in the movie and it made me sad. But I just was super excited to reread this, and And I was like, is that under 200 pages? Is it? And I like looked through it. I was like, yes, it's under 200 pages. I'm gonna reread it. So yeah, super excited to reread this one. If you love Jane Austen and you haven't read this one, read it. It's so good. Next, this one is a little bit above the 200 page mark. I think it's got like 209 pages or something, and that is Persuasion by Jane Austen. This will also be reread for me, and I'm rereading it for the Ostentatious Book Club. As I previously mentioned, this is our read this month, and I adored this one. I actually recently read it. This is probably my most recent read for Jane Austen that I had read for the first time. I think I read it like last year, and it is so good. Ugh, I love this one. And it's quite short. It's like her shortest one. So it is so awesome. Excited to reread because Anne Elliot and Captain Wentworth. Captain Wentworth. Okay, we're going to move on. We're going to move on. So that is all for the books I'm going to try to read for the readathon this week. And then anything I don't get to, I'll probably try to cram in later on in the week. But it's not like a set TBR. I just want to try to get through as many of those as I possibly can before the week is out. I'm doing poorly right now, really poorly, but I'm hoping that it will pick up during this week. So, other than that, I want to go ahead and finish Steps in Time by Fred Astaire. I'm really enjoying it, but it is quite slow just because I'm not a huge reader of nonfiction, and he is not an author. Let's just say that. Hopefully I'll finish this by the end of this month. I don't have too much more to go. I'm more than halfway through, so. Next, I have my TBR jar bag picks. So, for my TBR pick for my library books, I have Silo by DJ McHale, and I love DJ McHale. He wrote the Pendragon series, and I actually just found out by reading the preface to this book that he also wrote and directed Flight 29 Down. I loved that so much. That is a series, a TV series about teens that are going on like a trip, and their plane crashes on an island, and they have to survive. And it's so cool, and I love it. And I couldn't believe when I was reading, I was like, he wrote that and the Pendragon series. I can't believe I didn't know that because I love his writing. So this one is a sci-fi, I think. I'm not really sure yet, but basically it follows a boy. I just barely started reading it. So it follows Tucker Pierce, and he is your average freshman in high school, and his best friend, and they witness this weird thing floating over the ocean. They live on an island, so this weird thing's floating, and it explodes. And so they call 911. They're like, oh my gosh, this just happened. And then a couple of days later, there is like a military invasion of their island, and they're quarantined because people have started randomly dying for no reason. And there are more than 2 books. I think there's at least 3 books in this series, so I'm really excited to see what happens. But that's all I know about it so far, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm about a quarter of the way through it, and I'm kind of putting it on hold during this week for readathon so that I can finish it, pick it back up, because it's obviously not under 200 pages. So next, I pulled from my owned TBR. I pulled Marked by PC Cast and Kristen Cast, and this is a vampire series, but other than that, I know little to nothing about it. I actually own quite a few of the books because I got them all at Goodwill once for like $1 a piece or 50 cents a piece or something like that, and so I'm excited to get into them, and I hope I enjoy them because I have like the first 5, I think. So yeah, so I've heard good things about this, but I'm going to give it a shot this month and see what I like. And then the way I kind of do my series when I pull them from the TBR is I go ahead and try to read as many of those as I can that month. And then just keep trying to knock those out before I have to pull another TBR. So we'll see. We'll see what happens and try to kind of knock some stuff off my TBR shelves. Next book on my TBR for September. This is the last one I'm going to mention. And I actually already finished it. It was so good. But I already finished it. This was the Sassy Book Club pick of the month of August-September. The read for this month, these 2 months, was An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. And oh my gosh, I read this in like a day and a half. I could not put this down. It was so good. There's so many elements in it. There's adventure, suspense, political intrigue, and then like there's also fantastical elements. There's like mythical creatures that come into play. I could fangirl about this forever. I loved it so much. Yes. So that is it for my September TBR. I know it was quite long, but like I said, I may not get to all of these. I might get to some other ones instead of these shorter ones. We'll see what happens. So I'm super excited to dig right into all of these books this month and let you know what progress I make. And then I also do plan on doing a full review of the Saba Tahir and Ember in the Ashes because it was so good. Oh my gosh. Anyways, that's it. That's all I have. And I will see you all next time with another video. Bye-bye.